Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one actually comes from the Dusty Thunder subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Repeatedly Asking My Husband for a New Chair When He Says No Every Time? Our baby was early and sick. For the first 2 months of her life, we were in the hospital and I got about 45 minutes of sleep 3 times a night. Now I get about 4 hours collective sleep a night, sometimes a bit more. My husband puts her to bed most of the time so I can get an hour or so of sleep. Apart from him putting her to bed, I have always been left to do nights alone. Recently, he has gotten up once or twice a night to help because she wakes from 4 to 9 times a night, and after 11 months, I am losing it. I had a queen bed in her room to feed her, but had to take it out because he kept falling asleep with her. I switched to feeding and settling her in an old rocking chair, which was so uncomfortable and difficult for the baby and I. Then it broke. From the start of the pregnancy, he said I should pay for all the baby things. Wait, what? Wait, okay. We're going to go ahead and do this right now. And I feel like this is turned immediately into a direction that's going to piss me off. I paid for all of her clothes, toys, crib, stroller, car seat, and furniture. We pay for necessities like diapers, wipes, and medical stuff out of our shared account. I have been careful with my savings as I plan on going back to work halfway through next year when her medical needs are manageable for daycare. My husband makes good money, he pays a lot in taxes, and he complains about it almost every day. He files our taxes together, so his is reduced, which means I didn't get a return this year and missed out on money I was hoping to add to my savings. I recently sent my husband the link to a nice gliding chair. It was on sale for $600. I planned to buy it and then use it as a reading chair in a few years. He said we could get a cheaper one. Of course, I had looked for cheaper alternatives and secondhand ones, but that was the best deal I could get that had arms high enough for feeding, the gliding motion to calm her, and being able to slip out of the chair without waking her. He said no again. I continued to struggle through the nights with even less sleep until I angrily explained again how having a comfortable place to feed and settle the baby would change my life. He said he's tired of hearing of it. I pitched the idea again tonight. He asked why I can't move the bed back into her room instead. I reminded him of all the times I pleaded with him to not fall asleep with her, and he kept doing it, saying he absolutely could not guarantee it. She is also used to the rocking motion now, so a bed would not work. I asked him what had changed between the times I begged him not to fall asleep with her and now. He said he didn't want to buy a chair. I told him he is putting money before his wife and child. I said he didn't care about his child's safety or his suffering wife, but he suddenly cares when it comes to money, and it's my money. He told me I was being mean, an astronaut. Before we dive into the update here, which Candy Thunder just now posted into it, so we're going to read the update, y'all. This guy is the worst. It's your money, OP. Hold up. He says you have to buy all the baby stuff that's not critical necessities like diapers, but then says that you can't buy something that you say that you, wait, why are you asking him? If this is your money and if this is your purchase, why are you asking it? Why does he have to approve a purchase that is on you to make? Hold up.
She did say in comments that they agreed anything over $500 would be a joint decision, and the chair was $600. But he also said that her money is their money, but like his money, like I don't know. Like that's how I took it. So, and this is on the Dusty Thunder subreddit. So like you're welcome. We have the update and we will read that, but it's financial control, and so. But she goes into more depth in the update.
Okay, we'll dive into the update right now. He's an ask on one for me. Like this is financial abuse. This is
definition.
Yeah, this is literally the definition of financial abuse. And having OP in a position where not that I disagree that purchases over X amount should be a joint decision. If you're using your own money for it, wait. Do you get say in things that he buys that are over $500? OP? I bet you don't. I'd be like, hey, you sit your ass in this chair and you rock for 3 hours and you tell me we don't need to replace that chair. You tell me. Shit, you know what? Make him do it. He'll probably buy the chair himself after being stuck in that chair for 3 hours. My goodness. Garbage. All right, let's dive into the update. Bye, Felicia. All right, here's an update to the AITA for repeatedly asking my husband for a chair, even though he keeps saying no. Which, by the way, you're in TA, OP. I'd be shocked if something changed in this update here. Thank you, everyone, for your comments, especially the people who commented, what the F did I just read? And I'm sorry this seems genuinely insane because, yes, I did feel like it was insane. He was not at all like this about money pre-baby, but we were both working hard, earning and enjoying life, and sleeping. Most of all, I think it is the lack of sleep that has changed us and made communication and emotional regulation hard. Parenthood brings new responsibilities and pressures, and I feel for him adjusting to everything, but my life and means of income are completely gone, so it's hard on me too. I spoke to him about how I was feeling the morning after your comments started rolling in. I said how angry I was and that we're suffering so much more than we could be if we just had a freaking rocking chair. Right now I walk and sway to rock her, but she is heavy and my arms get the shakes. Dude, she's walking around long enough for her arms to literally be trembling with this baby? What is wrong with you, you dick? He replied, and this took my breath away, that he was sick of being treated like an ATM. Insane. It's not his money. It's not his money. Okay. I shot back about how I handled over all of my savings, hundreds of thousands of dollars from the sale of my house to pay down the mortgage. And then I had 9 months to save and pay for everything for the baby. I pointed out how I paid for everything she has. I asked how exactly he is an ATM. He said, let's drop it. Oh, she's catching on. Let's drop it. Let's just drop this. I don't want to argue. Then he said, we have a massive tax bill right now, and it's not the time for big purchases. I know he feels like he's working so hard, but we are not getting ahead like we should be. I empathize, and I know that he works hard. I know he's doing his best for our family, but this is a temporary stage of life. I asked why I can't spend money from my account specifically for baby things, and he said it's all our money in the end. I think he's worried that if I spend hundreds now, it means my money will run out sooner. I guess $600 now hurts more and is different to $600 later. Or he is just trying to wait me out. I didn't say that part. Instead, I said that the way he is being about this is damaging the way that I feel about him and damaging our relationship. He got mad and told me to get the chair then. He said that he asked his best friend if his wife needed a rocking chair and they never got one, and then pointed out that they have 3 kids and we only have 1. Oh, well, buddy, yeah, I'm sure your buddy is the source that you should be asking on this. I wanted to say that I bet his best friend never fell asleep holding their kids on the edge of a bed high off the ground. I wanted to say that their situation is vastly different to ours and comparing is unfair. Instead, I replied that this is about so much more than the chair and we really need to sort it out. Baby girl deserves parents who have a healthy relationship so she feels happy and secure. And to see that modeled for her future, we deserve a healthy relationship too. He stormed off. For attempt 2 of the conversation, I showed him the original post in your comments. Boy, gonna be mad. Surely, as it is written from my perspective, it is unfairly in my favor. So I was worried about him blowing up, but honestly, I felt like I was going crazy about this, and although the comments were harsh, they were very clear. So I waited until he was in a better mood. He was chilling on the couch while I had the baby and was preparing her dinner, and he opened the post and read it for a bit. He said I had gone on a rant and that the post was bad for our marriage and closed it down. He then sent some texts and had a shower. I was hoping he would mull it over and perhaps start seeing things from my perspective. He came out of the shower refusing to speak to me. I apologized that his feelings were hurt and explained that people responding were only getting a snapshot of our marriage and we only know what our marriage is truly like. He said it's the lowest thing I have ever done. I explained that I only wrote the post, not all the replies. The accusations of financial abuse really got to him. Oh yeah. When people get exposed, it typically does get to them. He left for the rest of the evening without speaking to me, so I fed the baby her solids, played with her, bathed her, read books with her, bottle fed her, and then put her to bed. I was hoping he might be taking time to reflect on the situation, to read through my perspective and to consider why I was upset, and also to consider why he was upset. I think this has really shaken his perspective on our marriage and his view of himself. I think it has hurt his feelings and his ego. Ding, ding, ding. Not the feelings part, the ego part. He must have come back inside at some point because I found him asleep in bed, which is when I went to have a shower. I asked if he intended to help with the medication tonight or if he was planning on doing no parenting at all. I was mad. I should have just not said the last part. He went to sleep on the couch. When I got back to bed after wake up number 2 at around 11 p.m., he was back. The irony is now I hate the idea of getting the chair. It's a symbol of everything wrong about our relationship and the whole situation, and a reminder of how the empathetic, attentive, fun, generous man I married has changed dramatically. And so have I, to be honest. With the sleep deprivation, I am generally harder and straight to the point, not gentle and patient in explaining what should happen or what I need like I used to be. He must be missing the softer side of me. Maybe that's what he means when he says I'm mean. I really don't have energy for anything other than survival, but I need the freaking chair because I'm losing my mind swaying and walking laps of the nursery. I'll see what he has to say if he ever talks to me again. Thank you to all the people who gave me advice about my baby's bad sleeping. We are not medically cleared to sleep train her. The wake ups are not all her. She is often woken by us giving her medication in the night and it hurts her stomach. We have to fast her around the time of the medication too. We have spoken to the doctors and had sleep consultants, and the feedback we've gotten is that we're doing the best we can with the situation we're in. I also can't get a night nanny because I won't be able to switch off. If her heart freaks out and I'm not there or it's not picked up on, I will never forgive myself. She is also still breastfed, and I haven't been pumping recently, so it's better to whap out the boob at night when she doesn't need to fast around her medication times. And if we can't agree on the price of the chair, imagine trying to negotiate the expense of getting a night nanny. It's 12:30 a.m., and she is awake and crying again. I'll see what the new day brings. This poor woman. So, you said something in here, OP, that I want to challenge a little bit. First of all, I do agree with you. Like, parenthood will fry you both. It will test you in ways that nothing has ever tested you. You're going to be beat down to your very last nerve, and that nerve is going to be the single strand by which you try to communicate with each other, and you're both hanging by it. Except, I think in this case, you are doing the work to actually be hanging by it, and I don't see him doing that. I see him putting up this wall of, I have to stress about the financial side of our life, and that should be enough. I'm sorry. You don't get to do that as a parent. You don't get to say, I'm going to niche in this area, and that's all I'm going to cover, and I'm going to be God of that area. You do not get to do that. You do not get to put all of the work on your partner and then control them. You said our baby girl deserves parents with a happy relationship, and I'm going to challenge that a little bit. I think above that, your baby girl deserves parents who are individually happy. That doesn't mean you have to be happy together. Obviously, the best case scenario here is that you guys work out all your shit and you end up staying together and everything's hunky-dory. But I need you to acknowledge that there is a path here where the happiest version of you that you are able to show her is not in a home that includes him. I'm not saying you should pursue that route immediately, but I need you to acknowledge that it does exist, because right now I feel like you don't. You've blocked that out as a possibility here, which is why you've subjected yourself to his rule. And I say rule because that's what it is. Homeboy is controlling everything that you do. And his only reaction whenever he felt exposed was to say it's the worst thing you've ever done and this is terrible for our marriage. No shit. The post isn't what's terrible for our marriage. Your actions that led to the post are what's terrible for your marriage. This guy's the worst. He still here, and I'd like to get some feedback from Candy Thunder if y'all are good with that. Does that sound okay? Let's bring her up here, ladies and gentlemen. Candy Thunder once again. Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder.
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but obviously, like, we know it's not about the chair. But he says that you're mean, and so him withholding this and like using it as a form of punishment. Like, you can't get the chair because I feel like you're treating me disrespectfully. And so I'm going to withhold this from you because it's over the $500 limit that we set, and say that you can't get this until I feel like you're acting more appropriate towards me. That is narcissism. Like, using that against a person who is supposed to be your partner is the definition in my book of like holding something over someone's head and abusing them with that thing. Like, that to me is just a narcissistic person. You deserve so much better than being in a relationship with someone like that. What is he providing at this time that you're not already doing? Because you're staying up all night while he gets to sleep because he has to go to work. And why can he not assist you? Why can he not help you? Why can you pump? Can you give your baby a bottle? Like, why is he not doing part of the work, even if it's just 2 nights a week, so that you can get a solid 6 to 8 hours of sleep? Like, I do not understand. But in my opinion, he's either using this because he thinks that you're being mean. And yes, you're being mean. You're sleep deprived. You have no filter. Like, that is the first thing that goes when you're tired. All of those things that you would normally filter out to make yourself a kinder, like, nicer person go out the window when you're tired. That is 101 of parenting. Like, you're gonna be mean, you're gonna be snippy. Like, the first year, the whole year, there's sleep regression, there's so many things, and
then they become toddlers and test you in a different way.
It's to me, it just, when think about it in this way, like your husband feels like you're testing him right now, like you're not being kind to him right now, and he's abusing you because of it. What's going to happen when your toddler acts out, when your toddler is not kind, when your teenager gets snippy? How is this man going to treat her? What is he going to be verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, financially abusive? Think about those things before just saying that this is just a hard spot. This is not a hard spot. This isn't about a chair. This is about your life and how you want to live your life. I have to say. Bye, guys.
Snaps for Candy, and 100% agree. But I feel like there's more going on here than we're even finding out, or than more than OP is acknowledging here. But here's where I think it's actually way worse than we are even seeing right now. She sold her house and had hundreds of thousands of dollars in proceeds that she handed over to him to pay down their mortgage. And now he's stressing because they have some kind of massive tax bill, which is a Wizard of Oz smokescreen that she doesn't know anything about. She just knows that he's on the hook for a lot of money, right? There's a problem here, OP. Like, this is financial abuse that we don't even know the half of yet, because this is an iceberg type situation. What she's told us is just the tip of this. There's so much underneath that relates to the hundreds of thousands of dollars that she handed over, that relates to the financial control right now. Like, there's something driving this that is not good. And the way that he's displaying this is probably a buildup of all this bullshit where this poison is now infecting him all over. There's a lot more going on here than you may even know, OP. But boil this down to the basics. What's the right thing to do for your child? And you have to acknowledge that there's a happy version of you that doesn't involve him. 0 is greater than -1. And I would say for the two of you, like, if he is just a negative here, and you guys are supposed to be a set of 3, but he's a -1, then you're actually 2, right? And so if he's only causing pain, if pain is the only thing that somebody brings into a relationship, you have to seriously start questioning things. I would love to say, like, y'all need couples therapy. I think he's going to buck against that heavily because he doesn't want to get exposed for everything that's actually going on here, which isn't a bad play.